Lock it in and rip the knob off. You're tuned in to the #1 show on the planet, the Heffron and Reep Show. Hey, everybody. It's your old pal, Jon Reep here. I am exactly half of the Heffron and Reep Show. Doing it Jon Solo style for a little bit. Jon Solo. There's just one Jon up in here, but I'm going live right now on my Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And I see your comments. I see Chad and Ken and Ray and Clarence and Travis and Bob and Travis and Shane and Andrew. I see all your comments. So the fact that John Heffron is not here will give me more time to talk to you. So stay tuned. While you're at it, don't worry, I've got a surprise coming up here in a minute. Why don't you go ahead and hit the share button? It's a little arrow button pointing to your right. Go ahead and hit the share button. Let's grow this podcast like we try to grow the other one I do, which is tomorrow. But I'm Jon Solo, Chad Clemens. Hit the share button. I think they have a share button on YouTube as well. Go ahead and hit that thing. I'm wearing my Detroit Tigers hat in memory or honor of John Heffron. He is? Okay. Oh, crap. I just saw the private chat. All right, we got a couple things. I got Reno Collier is going to be joining us. And just now, figured it out, John Heffron is in the airport. He's in Florida. He just did a gig with Ron Tater Salad White. Maybe he can talk about it. The Alan Jackson, whenever you see fit, go ahead and pop in Heffron for a second. Might as well, since it's the Heffron and Reep Show. There he is at an airport. Are you in Florida, John Heffron? I can't hear him. I can't hear a word you're saying. Yes or no questions. Are you in Florida? No. Are you on a layover? You're in Michigan. Oh, you are in Detroit. Oh, you're in Detroit. So they have the monorail there, right? Can you show us the monorail? Are you close to that? Yeah, up there. Detroit, one of my favorite airports, has this awesome, it's clean. It's a clean airport. And it's clean. And they have a monorail that goes from, yeah. So there's a mute thing, John Heffron. I think you might want to hit the, can you, all right, talk now. Nope, no bueno. I can't hear you, but you can hear me, yes? Yeah? Okay. For whatever reason, I cannot hear you. The Alan Jackson will work on it. We'll sit here and look at you, and I will ask you yes or no questions. Is your flight delayed because of weather? Oh, no, hang on. That wasn't a yes or no question. Your flight was delayed because of weather, yes or no? Yes. All right. So probably rain, probably some thunderstorms. You're so close to your house though, because I know you're in Michigan and Detroit's not far from where your place is. Are you thinking about renting a car? No. So your flight, yeah. Oh, wait. Something's happening. John is adjusting a camera situation. I'm sure the Alan Jackson's trying to work on it. I see your comments. Sharon says Detroit Rock City. Hello, Jane. How about now, John? Say something. Nope. John has got to answer all those questions with facial expressions and sign language. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Michael. So you're not going to rent a car. Oh, he said 1 second. So the Alan Jackson, while he's figuring this out, yeah, Kristen Wild says, be mute and unmute yourself. Do you know how to? So either John or Alan's doing that on our end. This is fun. Maybe if we get Reno Collier in here, I can talk. At least he'll be in here, and I'm not by myself. I could plug my tour dates. Hey, Reno. Oh no! Don't tell
I'm
me.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that was a good lip sync.
Not bad.
John, can you say something, John Heffron?
Hey, John, are you wearing pants?
Can't hear him.
Hey, don't say anything if you think I'm funnier than you. Perfect. Good.
John. Yes. There's so many things we could do now. Oh, he's going to telephone call us.
There you go.
Yeah, call the Alan Jackson on the phone. Oh, you're going to call me? Call me on the phone. Here we go. Let's do that. So, John, go ahead and call my phone. Oh, yeah, he's like Godzilla. He's like Godzilla doing sign language. Are you going to call me, dude? Oh, I have to call you. Wait, you're using your phone. I can't call you. Oh, he's pointing to the right. He wants me to kiss someone.
Kissing someone?
That's a kiss thing?
You kissed Ron White.
Did you make out with Ron White? Yes.
His wiener
just a little bit. Two words. Times. 2 words. Small word. Swipe. Swipe up. Swipe you. Swipe tiny. Swipe antlers. Swipe. Two words. The second word is this. Oh man. All right. So
he's saying he wants the two of you to kiss. Sorry.
But we can't do it, John, because you're in the middle of us. Yeah. So even if we wanted to do that, we're separate. Oh, that's horrible. That's funny.
That's funny.
John Heffron. Okay, so for those of you who are just listening to this podcast, you have no idea what's going on. John Heffron's at an airport in Detroit, stuck. He's on a layover. I guess there's bad weather. He's tried to zoom into the podcast. We see him, but we have no audio. Reno Collier is joining us from Tennessee. Thank you, Poop Sheetsky.
Yeah.
That's what pops up.
I forget that other people see that. I just think that that's you. And it's when I play video games with my son, I name my hockey player Poop Sheetsky. I don't know.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it sounds Polish or I don't know.
Well, thanks for filling in.
Yeah, man.
Do we just keep going and as Heffron just sits in the middle without any audio?
I guess so. I don't know. I don't know if he can figure it out. He's trying to get his earbuds.
He's trying to do something with his earbuds. I'm worried about him because his mask is around his neck. And
I'm going to call the airport and tell him there's a guy with no mask on making hand signals, scaring the hell out of me.
There's a deaf lunatic at the airport.
Dude, anybody walking by just looking at him right now just sees like.
Yeah. It's like he's doing a TikTok in the corner. Like, look at this old man doing TikToks.
He's so angry. Wasn't he on Last Comic Standing? What's wrong with that guy?
Why can't he just get a car and go home? Yeah, so maybe his earbuds are dead. I don't know. I can hear. So here's the thing: I can hear you, Reno. So I know it's not our end of things.
Yeah,
but that's okay. John Heffron, do you have any other earbuds? Do you have ones that are wired? He's trying.
He's trying.
He's
trying. He has to poop.
Something a moment. My phone's not ringing. I thought he was going to pick up the phone and call me. Let me do this real quick. We're going live despite this, so you can share it, and it's kind of funny. We have a Patreon page. John.
Yes.
I got it.
So
now I can hear you now. Please talk for a minute.
Now I'm shutting off. Okay, it's this one. I'm shutting off my iPad. I don't know why I couldn't hear me from the iPad, but you guys can hear me now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's just going to be a thing then. I'm going phone. We'll do it old school. Going live.
What happened, John?
So flight delayed because the world's coming back on. So we're back to just flights being delayed. 6 hours delayed was in Florida. Was going to drive home to do our show. And now I'm just in Detroit airport because that's how the math worked. So sit and talk to you, and then I'll drive home. And then I'll be home for a couple of days. And I'm going to Tempe.
Oh, I see. So
You know
you
what I mean?
could.
Like it just
You're not waiting on another. Wait, I'm so confused.
no.
You
No,
were
I'm
in
not waiting.
Florida.
Yeah,
You flew from Florida
Florida
to
here,
Detroit.
and it was crazy busy. All flights canceled because Florida had it got rained on a little there.
But
So
nothing.
that's why.
So
So
you're just sitting there in the airport because you didn't want to drive and miss the Heffron Reep going live at 8:00.
not right, especially when I knew Reno was coming on. I really wanted to make sure.
Make sure I didn't ruin it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put this on just so I don't get yelled at. But yeah, so that's why. So Florida, real quick, was great. Ron White did guest sets. Ron White was the feature because he was working on new material and stuff because he's going back on the road. Boy, that was super fun and super interesting. You know, sometimes you just work a week and you don't feel like you don't want to do any heavy lifting. You know, you want it just as easy for you as possible. Yeah, that wasn't this week. Thursday show. Thursday show. I went up to. And this is nothing against Ron. He got a standing ovation after his set. So as everybody's standing, the MC just went up and go, "Let's keep it going." He plays clubs and colleges. Jon Heffron literally says clubs and colleges. Then so I'm walking through the crowd to Ron White's standing ovation.
Oh.
So I got that was the first day. So then you adjusted for win. So then by the second day, I would just go on stage and kind of yell at them and tell them that we just went from HBO Max to Disney Plus, and they're going to be able to make the change. And it was super crazy fun. So yeah. So after the first day, that was just a little bit weird.
John, you want to hear a jacked up? I was opening for Cable Guy and Jeff Foxworthy, right? And it was when Blue Collar was blowing up, and the tour manager. We were in Chattanooga. There's like 8,000 people. The tour manager goes to bring me out, and the mic cut out, and he goes, "Please welcome to the stage." And it cut out, and he said, "You've seen him on tour," and it pops on. He goes, "With Ron White," and the whole crowd's like, "Yeah!"
Oh.
And he goes, "Please welcome Reno Collier," and it goes, "Ooh."
Yeah. That's how it was.
That's miserable.
But I also saw. Here's what made me mad about people, and again, I'm sorry, I'm whispering because people are shooting me looks. So Ron is in one of the rooms at Vasanti's that it's like a small little dining room, not dining. It's a room that could probably seat 20 or 30. It's for like private parties. Ron's in there pre-show, just having a meal with a guest. He's the only one in there. Somebody opens the door and just yells, Ron White. And then the 18-year-old girl who's working, the hostess, goes over to that guy and said, sir, you have to close that door. You can't yell. He's in there trying to have a meal, right? And I don't hear Ron or his guest. Nobody says anything. This guy's just yelling. This guy then looks at her and goes, F you. This is what he signed up for.
Oh no!
And I was like, so I was standing there going, and then I go, what the F? What does that mean? This is what you signed up for. He's like, I bought tickets to come and see him, and if he doesn't like people, his fans, whatever. And I go, I know for a fact you didn't buy tickets to see him because nobody knows he's here. You bought tickets to see me. You bought tickets to see me, and I didn't sign up for. There's a weird, and he's a guy at a cutoff shirt, a t-shirt with no sleeves, and just to me, the more your arms are covered, the more respect I'm going to give you. I know I judge, but if the more I don't see of your arm, that happened. That's what you signed up for thing happened 3 times. Somebody pounded on his bus, and somebody had to come and goes, you can't just pound on somebody's bus. He's like, I want a picture. And they go, he's in bed or there's no pictures. And the woman goes, this is what he signed up for. Get him
Nobody's.
I know.
That drives me crazy. First of all, nobody we didn't sign up for anything. We just started doing stand-up comedy. Like, I rarely even sign contracts for performances I do. I mean, do you? I mean, when's the last time, Reno? I mean, when we just did a gig in Walhalla, I didn't sign anything. I mean, just a whole sign up. Like, they think that, you know, like, you want to be a comedian, this is part of it. No, it ain't.
Yeah,
I know.
It happens. We don't like it, and we didn't sign up for it. You're an asshole.
Yeah. I was lividly mad, and then I got mad once at the crowd because it's a big restaurant. It's one of the greatest restaurants ever. I saw some woman freaking out about napkins, right? So she eats a big plate of spaghetti parmesan, and she goes, to the server, can I get some napkins? And the server, I bet minimum is dealing with 50 people with 50 full meals, not chicken tenders and fries. Like, this place is as big a family style Italian restaurant as you can think. The girl goes and gets her napkins, and the woman says, next time I would like them quicker, to the server. So then she goes, matter of fact, I would like to speak to the manager. So then the manager had to go over there, and she's like, I asked for napkins. And he's like, did you get any? And she's like, yes, but it took her a while to get here. And we bought tickets, and we think. So then I went on stage and went, you know what? There's thousands and thousands of restaurants that got closed down because of the pandemic. There's people all over the world trying to figure out how they're going to get food and trying to figure out how to survive. If you're bitching about napkins, you can go fuck yourself. You stop going to church because you don't pay attention at church. Stop doing all of that. You're a horrible person. And I went crazy. I went like nuts, and then but it was good though because it was following.
When you were doing that bit
was the least. Yeah.
When you were doing that bit on stage, were you like pointing or looking sort of at that table?
They knew exactly I was talking about them. Knew exactly.
Awesome.
Horrible, just, horrible human beings. So,
Reno, have you been to Vistani's in Port Charlotte, Florida?
I have not.
Yeah.
No, I heard it's cool.
Yeah, it's this big. It looked like, John, does it still look like a castle on the outside?
It's 100% a castle. But Reno, they try to open for Reep when he's down there. It's such a great place. Well, yesterday we hung out.
We'll have to get Larry the Cable Guy to open up for both of us.
Yeah, I had a great time. I had a weird thing that happened, and it's weird how. Do I even tell the story? Because I don't know if I'm feeding the fire. So I was gonna do. I would leave out a lot just because I don't. I was gonna do morning radio Friday morning in Tampa. Dude. And Reno, tell me how you feel about this, because I'm torn. Right, like part of me could make me not care, other part I care, or I just move on. So it's supposed to be morning radio, but it's a 2-hour ride to where I'm going, 2-hour ride back for about an hour of conversation, right? So that's a 5-hour commitment. Shows already packed, shows already sold out, shows already whatever. And I even thought with COVID that there wouldn't even be in person, there wouldn't even be in studio type thing. So it's a half hour before my show on Thursday. And everybody's trying to figure out if I'm going to somehow wake up at 5 a.m. to go do press, just to do it, basically. It's not helping me sell tickets. So you probably know which way the owner and everybody probably decided to go. Do we wake up Friday morning at 5 a.m. and spend 6 hours on shows that are already sold out, right? But I let everybody know. I let everybody know the afternoon before, like right before the show on Thursday. Call the producer of the show, going, listen, I can phone in, I can zoom in, we can do a bit that I overslept. I'll do whatever you guys want, but just getting up to you guys is a tough call. Anyway, so that morning, the whole morning show shits on me, right? For not showing up. They take credit for selling out. Like, without them, I would never sell out in Florida. The producer, here's what makes me want to strangle somebody. The producer who I called recorded the conversation I had with him and played it on air. You follow me? Like a private
Yeah.
conversation, not an on air. I wasn't calling the switchboard, right? So I was livid. I was like, that's a huge FCC fine. That is huge. You're not allowed to, unless you go, hey, this conversation is going to be recorded for air. You have to say those words. You can't just call and
Right.
have me go. I don't know how to get up to you guys. My show's already sold out. Like, I mean, I'll do it, but I kind of, just hoping you'd give me out. That's how I sounded on air, and it made me sound. I probably did sound stupid, but I was from divorced parents and trying to appease everybody. But the fact that he played it on air, I'm like, oh, we're back. We're back. Would you be pissed? Would you be pissed at that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Not on air bits. I don't. Right. We all know morning shows have wacky bits and have fake angriness, and there's things. I get that 100%. But the call, it's like you calling Alan Jackson before this podcast, saying a bunch of stuff, and then, all right, John, let's go to the clip that Reno just clip.
I gotta go pee. Yeah.
Are you going to do anything, John? Legally? Are you going to do anything?
No, shit, no. It just bummed me out a little. You know what I mean? But it also got me excited. It got me excited to know that COVID or things are starting to open up again, in the sense of I have flight delays and morning radio shows are pissing me off. It's good to be back, right? It was just one of those things where it was,
But I want to retaliate somehow. I want to do something to retaliate.
We can't. They're part of the cool guy squad, man. That squad we talked about. I think I'm too lazy to want to deal with any of it. I just think it was a dick move. And people should know if they contact anybody from the show that your stuff's maybe. So don't say, I'm trying to sober up before I leave my go back to my wife's. Just be careful, because obviously there's no honor or stoic or code.
Said that so far in this conversation? Have you mentioned the show, the radio show? I don't know. I don't want you to. I don't remember if you did. That's all I'm asking. Have you?
Yeah, no. Yes, no. Because I texted the person and was like, "Hey, are we?" Yeah, but I mean, it was a shit move, and illegal.
No, it is,
and really illegal. But I'm wouldn't. You know what I mean? I would make the person.
The reason why I'm asking that, maybe you need to know why I'm asking you this question, is because I have also been on this show, and I've seen some shady things happen on this show. And I would like to chime into that. But if you've already mentioned the name of the show, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, well, the bummer is I got DMs, on various social media saying that if it wasn't, for this show, I'm a has-been comic. I should be trying to get as much press as possible. I'm a douche. Like, it's all that type of stuff where you don't feel like dealing with, and it's avoidable, especially when you don't record secret conversations and play them on air and tell your crowd that, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but it's morning radio, so those guys. So
I'm still wondering. Have you mentioned
as far as?
Have you mentioned the name of the show yet, Reno? Has he said the show?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Good. Because one time Dusty Slay and I went in there, and I was headlining, and Dusty was opening for me, and we went on this radio show, and I said, Dusty, just come on in, man. And Dusty came in, sat down, and the first thing that guy said is like, "Whoa, dude, you look like a child molester." Like said that about Dusty, without saying anything like, "It's good to see Jon Reep, blah blah blah," from so and so. He just looked right at Dusty and said that. And Dusty, I guess this was new in his career. He hasn't done a lot of radio. And so he was just like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
we're having a good time.
Right. But I mean, my own thing with that is that the new, that aside, because I'm friends with the guy and I've had awesome appearances on the show and loved it. But just like now, are we just at a point on social media or even shows like this where you have to be shitty to each other to even get any type of You know what I mean? Listen.
I wonder what they would have
stuff
done
like that.
had you
I don't
did
know.
show up. Did they have some sort of segment planned for you that they got mad that you couldn't be there and it just ruined their whole day?
Listen.
It's like this is a full on radio show. They don't need you at all. You think it would have been a favor that you didn't show up.
And listen, I think if anyone's an expert in knowing they don't need me for anything, it's you, Jon Reep.
Are you kidding me? This is the Heffron and Reep. It starts with your name.
Yeah, and we have all brand new T-shirts, so we gotta keep this going for like a second.
Wait, I also want to do this. Yes, we have T-shirts. They're not on heffronandreep.com yet, but they are at oldschoolshirts.com. It's a Heffron and Reep 5K Run Classic 1984 vintage T-shirt. So if you're the kind of person that gets tired of people wearing all these shirts that said, "Look what I did a 5K and I did this," and look at I do CrossFit all the time, all that stuff. We got one that makes it look like you did one in 1984, and it's just it's a make believe shirt. So go to oldschoolshirts.com, type in Heffron and Reep, get yourself a shirt. It'll help the podcast. Also, I want to say to everyone watching and listening this, June 11 and 12, I will be in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Oh, look, there is Shane Flint. Can you see that, John Heffron?
Yes, I can.
Shane Flint has already bought a shirt. And he's sporting it. That's the gray one. We now have a navy blue one that's available. But June 11 and 12, I'm going to be in Ann Arbor, Michigan with John Heffron doing a show with my very necessary friend, John Heffron.
Yeah, that we just got. I know we've been talking about doing our city swap or town swap. It's happening June 11 and 12 at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. I'm guessing they don't have things yet up for the tickets, but that is going to happen the second week. Everyone's going to be even more vaccinated. I'm going to show you around South Lyon. I'm going to take you around Ann Arbor. You're going to stay at the farmhouse. Reno, want to show up? Do you want to?
Dude, that sounds fun.
Reno will come.
Reno will come. I'm
the Alan Jackson's going to come up there and film everything.
And that's given me a month to find little nightstands and just get my house just all bed and breakfasty, just for all everyone showing up. Reno, if you come,
dude,
I got a trundle bed. You can sleep on the trundle bed, so I'll sleep on the top, and we'll pull out the drawer, and then you can sleep on the bottom, and then John can sleep in a sleeping bag, and then Alan can be in the same room, and then we can stay up all night just giggling. And then I'll be like, "John, are you awake?" And then he's like, "No, are you?" And then we can like dip each other's hand in water and see who pees. Like, how is it not fun? June 11th through 12th at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. That's I think we're probably going to do live podcasts while we're there. I'm going to do
quick
some
question.
Comedy. Yeah,
John Heffron. That weekend before that, are you doing something in North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm doing I am in Greensville, and then I have a corporate event on Sunday, whatever that is, in Charlotte.
Got it. So what me and the Alan Jackson and one of my interns just came up with is we're going to do a show in Hickory, North Carolina, that Monday or Tuesday. So you don't have to fly back right away. You can stay in Hickory after that gig you got in Charlotte. We'll do a show in Hickory. We'll town swap it for real, like real time. And then the next thing you know, that weekend I'm up in there in Ann Arbor. Look at this.
I wish we could, if there's only a way we could find like a VW van and jump in a van after the show in Hickory and drive to Michigan. We'd be there in 8 hours.
I bet you the Alan Jackson knows somebody with a Volkswagen van in Hickory that would love to drive us.
You can because I'm in Detroit the 20th through the 22nd
of May. Right? You're at the Comedy Castle.
Yeah.
I've also gone through your garbage. Yeah.
You are? Dude, you're the best, man.
Yeah, I'm going through your garbage. That's how I knew. I saw the contract. You could have got a little bit more out of Ridley, but listen, we're all struggling. Yeah, you're there in May because I saw that was gonna go. Yeah,
Dude,
Yeah,
come.
or I'm in Boston. But yeah, but you're 40 minutes away from where I live, so I'll definitely come out. And
Dude, I've not been at
I'll get a standing ovation. I'll do a guest set, get a standing ovation, and then I'll have the MC bring you right up with
And then
clubs and
leave.
colleges.
And you know what? I'll have somebody come over when you're eating dinner and be like, Jon Heffron, he signed up for this.
Yeah. So wait, Reno, how, I've not been to the Comedy Castle in forever. You're up there in May?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's a great room. I mean, I love that room.
That club.
It's
Love
huge.
that club.
How many people does that hold, John Heffron?
Pre-COVID?
Yeah, like if it's full capacity.
Well, I mean, you know how comedy club owners are, right? When they're like, we only seat 75, and you're like, there's 400 people in here. Man, it looks like 400, but it's only 75. Here, we're gonna pay you for 30. It's high force. In Michigan by then, who knows? It'll be at least half full. I don't know what's going. You know what I mean with COVID numbers. It probably won't be 100% capacity. Same with us in Ann Arbor, but Reno, I'm telling you right now, you're more than welcome. And again, this could have been a private conversation that I just aired, but you're more than welcome if you come in a day early or whatever. I'll show you around my little town I live in, and also bring your tools because there's some shit I would like you to do.
Dude, I love it, and I can bring my tools. I gotta make some extra scratch, man. These clubs are killing me.
Yeah, just stay at the but you'll have a bandage around your hand because you're putting in sockets around my house. But yeah, I figured out the smell. I had a mystery smell going on in my house since I bought it. That's fixed. I'm excited.
You figured out the smell.
Yeah.
Something in the wall.
What was it?
Let's get all technical talk. None of the drains in the basement of the house or even the upstairs bathroom were vented.
Ooh.
So everything was going into the same tube, and all the gas was coming up. Yeah, that was the thing.
Okay.
Are you septic?
Uh-huh.
You have septic out there? Yeah.
Yep, septic,
so
and then septic, and then that pump that's got to push it above the septic. You know, if it's below there's things. Jon Reep, you're gonna learn about all this when you come to the house.
Well, I just stayed in a cabin in a swamp in Louisiana for 2 nights.
How was that?
Let's talk about that.
Well, when I turned the faucet on, I smelled sewage. So, like the water, I think was hooked up maybe inappropriately. I don't think it was city water. You know, I'm not sure. It didn't smell like well water either. It smelled like straight up sewage anytime. And I was taking a shower in that stuff. I was like, oh man, I made coffee with it. So I drank it. But I was in Holden, Louisiana. And I'm going to talk about this a lot in detail tomorrow on Country-ish podcastshow.com. But I'll give everybody a teaser. So I did a film with a guy named John Schneider, Bo Duke. We did a film called Poker Run. It's the sequel to Stand on It. I play a cop named Alfie. I have one short little scene, and I was there 2 nights, and it was crazy. Details are coming.
It's the sequel to what?
His first movie that he did called Stand on It. So John Schneider, okay, he's got this huge property in Holden, Louisiana. It's an old church camp. It's like 153 acres. And he turned it into his own studios. So there's a big community pool. There's a little general store. There's a mess hall. There's all these cabins everywhere. And you see like ponds, swamp water. You see tree moss. Like you're in the swamplands of the deep Louisiana, state. So so what he's been doing is doing his own films. He has his own production company, everything. And he started doing his own version of Smokey and the Bandit. So the first one he did was called Stand on It, which was basically Smokey and the Bandit. He's playing Burt Reynolds. It's, he twisted some words, changed some things around here and there, but it's like his tip to the hat of Smokey the Bandit, because he's always a fan of Burt Reynolds and all that stuff. So Smokey the Bandit 2 is what I'm basically going to be in. It's called Poker Run. I have no idea when it comes out, but I'll just tell you they're trying to shoot a movie in 8 days. Yeah,
cool.
Huh?
Good times. Yeah.
Now, John, you know more about I don't know anything about movies. Is 8 days tough to shoot a movie? Because usually the films I see online look like they take 15 minutes to 30 if you want to go the whole scenario. But the movies I watch. So is 8 days tough to see?
I think so. Normally, I want to say they're anywhere from like months to a year to make a movie. Like, so if you're efficient and you got everything mapped out and you know where you're shooting all the stuff, the movie Into the Storm that I was in, big Warner Brothers movie, big tornado, this was worldwide. It cost millions of dollars to make Into the Storm with all the CGI and the special effects and all that stuff. I was in Detroit, in Michigan, shooting that movie. And I'm in about a third of that movie. I was up there for 2 months. So it takes a long time. It takes longer than 8 days.
Yeah, a lot longer. Yeah.
Yeah. Reno, you've been in movies.
Yeah, and they're not high budget. They were fun. They're Larry the Cable, Witless Protection, and Jingle All the Way 2. And I was in Rat Race, but I got cut out of it. But even those were not. Dude, Rat Race I told everybody I was in it. I mean, everybody. My mom, my dad. You're not gonna believe it. You're not. Anyway, but yeah, they all take.
I got cut out of Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy.
You did?
One of the first things I booked, and then they got rid of me. I was student number 2. Anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, are you being honest, or are you making a joke that we could all say we've been cut out of something, because who would know?
I was legit in it. I was legit in. I was student. I booked student number 2, and there's a scene where he's a student, like heckles him or something like that. Yeah.
Did you actually talk to Eddie Murphy? You had a scene with Eddie Murphy?
Had a scene, got booked for it, and then they said they cut the line or whatever. So I never went and did anything. Yeah.
I got to make out with Jenny McCarthy.
No, you didn't. You got cut out of that.
No, I didn't get cut out. Well, here's what happened. She was joking around at the end of the movie. They were filming it, and she's supposed to kiss Cable Guy, and she grabs me and just starts making out with me. And I had a cigar in my mouth. It was freaking awesome. It was the greatest. Because, dude, in college, when she was on MTV and bouncing around, I'm like, ah. And then I'm this old fat, pasty, drunk guy, and she's making out with me. And I bring it up every time she's on any show. My wife's like, I know. Before she even said, I know.
Is there footage of that? Like in the bloopers at the end of the movie or anything? Because that would be kind of cool to have just as a resume thing.
I almost blacked out when she did it. Cable Guy was making out with her every day.
Wow.
I'm like, how? There's no way these two in real life.
Right.
Actually,
this is not believable at all.
His wife's hotter than Jenny McCarthy, but it just doesn't seem like,
I always thought that was going to be a thing. Like back when I was younger and I was married, I had a sitcom deals like right after the last comic. The old school sitcoms, right? You had a wife and a blah, 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 and a thing. And that came up was is there going to be kissing on the show or not? That literally had to be a conversation where I was like, yeah, of course I'm going to. I'm
going to kiss her. I'm going to rub her boobs too.
I'm going to be making out with her. But I know, and I think I don't think this is out of place folklore, but I believe Ray Romano, every time he kissed his TV wife, had to buy his wife like a piece of jewelry. That could be wrong. Maybe not him.
Oh, I've heard
But
something like that before.
Yeah, so that's why you didn't see there wasn't a lot of kissing. You know, it was kind of more of a joke. You know, because it was Everybody Loves Raymond. It wasn't a thing, but yeah, anytime.
Yeah, I want to read a comment from one of the fans real quick. A guy named Michael Enderley. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. He's basically proving my point, but I don't think he means to. He says, hey guys, Kevin Smith filmed Silent Bob and Jay reboot in under 90 days. Right. Was it 8 days? Or was it 89 days? Okay. Thank you, Michael Enderley, for proving my point. All right.
8 days. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah, and Jay and Silent Bob, by the way, looks like an independent film. Like the way they shot it. I think, if I'm correct, that's the black and white one where they're at a convenience store or something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Or is that Clerks?
Oh, that may have been Clerks. The Alan Jackson, I know you're busy. Can you weigh in on that? I can't remember if it was Clerks or
what was the question again?
Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yes.
What do you know about it?
I have not seen it, but all of his movies are pretty low budget. He does them pretty quick. So
So all right, I didn't know if you knew that was the black and white one. The
first one he did was Clerks, and that one was super low budget, like $20,000 total, I think, to make it or something.
Wow.
And then he got bigger budgets over time, but they've still stayed pretty small.
I want someone to Google how long it took to shoot Clerks, and I'm willing to make a bet it's over 8 days.
I'll find out.
Okay. Dude, I don't think 8 days. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. But there's no 8 days. Like Tyler Perry is notorious for like flying through stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he just lines them up. Bang. All right, here's your lines.
I got an answer for you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do you want it or do you want to guess?
How long it took? How long it took to shoot Clerks?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's probably gonna be under 8 days. No, I got all cocky.
No way.
It's not.
Oh, 2 months.
2 months. 2 months.
21 days.
21 days.
21 days.
So
Wow.
I'm out.
There. That mic drop. I love it. Yeah.
I watched this movie where a woman needed to pawn something, and apparently, never mind.
A woman needed to pawn something. Pawn Stars?
Hey, no. I was gonna get really dirty there. It's a scenario. It's a thing. So I did my kind of show and tell, and I don't know what. I did my big corporate event in a winery in North Carolina, or not North Carolina. I was in Knoxville, Tennessee, with a Dolly Parton impersonator introduced me.
Nice.
And I asked right before I got on stage, I go, does she have my intro? Like what's going on? It's a real nice event. And she's singing, and I hear 9 to 5 and Islands in the Stream. And I go, does she have my intro? And then I got I got like a look, from the person who brought me there. I got like a thing. And then I didn't know if I used the right pronoun, right? So I didn't know if it was a woman or a man or a man who identifies as Dolly, right? So I just didn't say anything, and then Dolly Parton sings and just says, "Welcome, Jon Heffron," and I just walk onto that stage, and to this day I don't know. I didn't. I have no idea. I thought I got yelled at. So I'm like, I don't know if it was a guy that looked like Dolly Parton, because that would be, this crowd, or if it was just a woman that looked like. I didn't know. But
it's so difficult. Or the lady didn't even hear what you said and then just looked at you funny, and you automatically go.
I think that's what happened. But I went, okay, my bad.
I'm out. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care, and I don't know.
Yeah. Why are you asking me?
Dolly, whatever it is.
And
I did a cruise once called the Country Music Cruise, and there was a Dolly Parton impersonator on the cruise. I'm wondering if it's the same lady. I'm sure there's a lot of them. But did she look nice and did she sing well?
I don't. Yes.
Okay.
It didn't sound like
or she might have
islands
sang the
in
track.
the stream. That is what we are.
Ain't nothing in between. Ain't no way we're wrong.
Yeah. And will always you.
Let's see the shirt, John Heffron.
So I got my first. I realized this. My first baseball jersey, right? So I've been being my whole thing. I've never owned a baseball jersey. I've never had one given to me. I don't even have anything Detroit. But the Raptor, I got little Cardinals action going on there.
Boom.
Nice.
Boom.
Man.
Oh, whoa.
Nice.
So what?
I'm hanging.
Wait,
You guys can wear this when you guys stay in there at my house. You guys can use this to sleep in.
is this a new thing? I wasn't paying attention all the way 100%. Was this a new thing that you just got, or you've had that for a minute?
No, I just got it. I got off stage. And we have some gifts for you, and that was one of them. And I'm just like, we are back. Corporate.
That's awesome,
back.
man.
Yeah.
Jerseys. Yeah. So
Wow. Hey, Reno, have you done any corporate gigs recently?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I haven't done one in a while, but I did one over Zoom, and I got all my pointers from John Heffron, who also did a Zoom corporate gig like a week before me. And I used everything you said, because in the Zoom, it's weird, right? Because you can't hear people laughing, and you're just looking at faces, and you just go. But like I put, and I hadn't done stand up in a minute, so I'm like, I'm not even. Forget them not laughing at me and making me nervous. I'm going to forget my stuff because I haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah.
And then there's this offer. I'm like, well, I can't say no to that. But like what John told me to do, and I totally did it, was just tape a lot of your jokes or your bits behind the camera so they can't see it. So it looks like you're looking at them and you're like, oh yeah, I love this engineering firm. You guys met, so I was like kind of doing that. But yeah, it's nice to see that in-person corporate gigs are coming back.
Just put the camera on your iPad and air one of your old specials.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought about doing that on some of these where, can you pre-record and do it as if it's live, and the people in the room, right? Because there's so many shows I did over COVID, I stared at 50 mute buttons. That's all I saw. I didn't even see anyone's face. I just saw the red mute button, and you just stare at your phone like this, and you would kind of do your thing going, okay, well, I mean, I paid my mortgage this month. We'll figure it out for next month. Yeah.
Hey, John, how far is your place from the airport?
35 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
30.
When you do these gigs, because I'm interested, because I drive myself to the Charlotte Douglas. I don't know who Douglas is, but the Charlotte Douglas International Airport, and I park my car there. Do you just drive yourself and park your car, or are you Uber from?
I lost the Uber because in LA, obviously you could Uber it, but here it probably would be the same dude every time it picked me up, because it's probably one driver, and then they would know when I was gone. So what I do is, here's how lazy I got. I've decided I'm not going to take shuttles. I literally park in short-term parking, and I take it on the chin. I'll take it on the chin, pay $1 million just so I can, when I leave here, I can walk out and my car's right there. I don't want to wait for a shuttle and get it. I'm like, you know what?
I'll pay that extra. You know how much how expensive it was to park even in long-term parking in Los Angeles? Like short-term parking in Detroit or definitely Charlotte is way cheaper than long-term parking in Los Angeles. So when I saw the price on that, I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course I'm doing that.
So, but now I did that move where I literally don't remember where I parked because it felt like it was 100 years ago. I have no way. I didn't take a picture. I didn't. So I'm gonna do that thing where I'm just gonna go hit the elevator, hit every button, step out, go whoop, 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 and then come back into the elevator. You know.
I have on your iPhone, there's got a little yellow thing called Notes, right? So I have just one thing of notes. It's all where I parked. 4B, 4J. It's always 4. But yeah, that's a rookie move, dude. I hope it doesn't take you forever to find your car.
I'm hoping the comedy club in Ann Arbor back to that June 11th to 12th. I'm really excited about us finally. This is years of us finally doing a show. We have no idea what the format's going to be.
Right.
I'm going to be lazy. I feel like doing, a little bit of time because I was just there, So you might have to do most of the heavy lifting, and Reno can come and run clean up, and he can just come up after us. And we'll go sit and
You tell Reno to show up, he'll be there.
Reno,
I'll be there.
Let's see, May, right? You're here in May. You would drive up from where you live, dude. You're more than welcome. It wouldn't affect your week because you already would be here in Michigan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can come and just do shows with us. We're only going to do 3. It's only going to be 3. We're going to be driving around. We're going to be a little bit like maniacs. I'm going to try to find an old Chevette before then that we can drive around. Dude, if you're serious,
I know you guys have already said this. I'll freaking do it. I'll build a deck too. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Dude, he'll build stuff.
I'll put all my tools in my truck and I'll be at your house.
We'll drive it up, and then I'll get Reep to come in a day early, and
dude,
we'll drive
John.
town.
So me and Reno just did this gig in Walhalla, South Carolina, and I brought Jody with me, my girlfriend, and we were staying at this hotel, and Reno was in the same hotel. I said, "Hey, Reno, we're thinking about maybe having a couple of drinks. I know you don't drink. Do you mind driving us over there?" He's like, "Yeah, come on," And it's like, it's a work truck, dude. Like, there's tools. He's got the bed. He's like, I opened up the trunk to put my luggage in there with my merch. He's like, there's hay, there's straw,
there's all kinds of tools, and there's hammers, a screwdriver, nail gun. Dude, we could do it.
Bring that exact truck, and then so just load up the truck, and because you're kind of be opening for me and John, then remember the old days when you were a feature when you had to drive the headliner to the mall?
Yeah. I don't drink anymore.
Then,
dude, I'll drive anyway. Like, I don't know how. You guys both knew me a long time ago. How in the freaking did I end up the driver? Like, would either of you have gotten in a car with me? You know what I mean? It's so weird. Like, a bunch of my friends that live in my town came to Zany's, right, to see me do a show. They were so drunk, they got kicked out before I even got on stage, right? So they're all upset, and they're apologizing. They're like, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "It's okay." And they're like, "Are you going to forgive us?" And I was like, "Yeah." I go, "I've done stuff 10 times worse than that to thousands of people. If there's one thing I have to forgive people for, it's getting hammered and jacking stuff up. I jacked my career up."
It's so funny you say that, Reno, because that very thing, I don't know, happened to a comedian friend of mine too at Zany's, where it's like you bring the people that you invite, your own friends, to a club, get the drunkest, and are usually the biggest problems.
In a group of 20.
Oh,
wow. A group of 20. Right. And the people were yelling, "We're VIPs with Reno." And I'm in the back like,
right. I've started just telling people, like, "You want tickets to my show?" Even my own brother sometimes will hit me up. He's like, "Hey," my own brother will sometimes, I'm the last person he asks for free tickets because he knows what I'm going to say. Because he'll go like, he'll be like, "Hey man, I got this friend who works with me anyway. He likes you, wants to come to your show." So it's like, instead of just buying a ticket, he will like put his tail between his legs and go. I'm like, it's $20. Who doesn't have $20? Just give me $20.
Definitely.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I was super nervous. It's weird now that we're back doing shows. The guy who's done a lot of work at my house, he happened to be in Florida vacationing, and so I got him tickets. They bought tickets actually, which was even nicer. He's like, "Hey, just bought 8 tickets," and I'm like, "You're gonna love it. There's a special guest. Can't tell you who was." I was super nervous because I'm like, "What if I suck?" Then when he comes to do stuff around my house, he's gonna charge me extra or not do things correctly. You know what I mean? I was suddenly he's not gonna return phone calls. He's
just not gonna leave. He's gonna want to be your best friend and build himself a room. He's gonna have his own room. He's gonna build it from scratch.
I'm hoping to get our playroom done before you guys get there. So we have.
Hey, so John, so you're saying Reno, in case you don't know, Heffron and I are going to do this show called Town Swap. I'm not sure what we're calling it, but the idea is I go to his hometown where he's the guy everyone knows, John Heffron, and he introduces me to his crowd. And then I do the same when he comes to Hickory, and I meet some of his old high school friends, the Chevette he's talking about. It gives me a little tour and vice versa.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I'm gonna stay. He has a like a farmhouse in Michigan that I'm gonna stay in, and you and Alan and everyone else. But John, what you don't know is when you come to Hickory.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be staying in my house with my mother.
Do I get to do the walkie-talkie with her?
You can do the walkie-talkie. You can do a mukbang. You can. I'm going to put you in my room. There's still a poster of me in that room from high school football. I want you in that room, and I want you telling everybody your thoughts on it because I want another comedian in that room. My brother can't talk about it. I know one of you guys could, especially. Come on, you got to stay in my house. I could get you a hotel. We have hotels, but I want you in that house.
Yeah, I'm already I'm planning the same thing. There are hotels near me, but I think you got to have the full experience. You can see the possum that keeps coming to my window that I don't know what to do with. When I'll have you go get the trash can at the bottom of the driveway, and you can tell me what animal chased you back up into my house. There's so many fun things that we're gonna be able to do.
I'm just imagining you in my house and just knowing how you are and also how my mom is and just how the house is. It's Alan, you're going to have to come stay in my house one night too. Just film John trying to sleep in the house. John, how do you like the climate? Do you like it extra cold, room temperature, a little bit warmer?
I don't have one now because my house is being weird and I can't tell if the furnace is going again or the thing. So lately it's been I deal with whatever climate my house is giving me. So if it's colder, I just kind of layer up because I can't control the climate in my house. You guys are gonna be fine in the basement though. I'd bring a sleeping bag and a couple of flannel. But yeah. So this was being in Florida. This weekend was the first sun I've seen in a little bit. It was full on. It
was hot.
It was 90 something, and then I was at the hotel pool. And that was the first time I had, swim shorts on. And then I kind of looked at myself and just saw just my Kermit the Frog body. When you see, the lead singer of Aerosmith, ever just see him on the beach in the show? I had a moment where I felt like my body was becoming that. Where my body just felt I'm just skinny with a gut and a thing in it, maybe just, and of course everyone at this pool, everyone's all tatted and ripped and they're just, so I'm a little self-conscious. Yeah.
So real quick, it's 9:00. We've been going for an hour. Let's wrap it up pretty soon, but I want to plug something real quick. I'm going to be in Springfield, Missouri, April 16 and 17. That's this coming Friday and Saturday. Springfield, Missouri, place called the Blue Room.
It's awesome.
Have you been?
Yeah, I was just there a couple months ago. It's freaking awesome.
I've never been. So it's great. Okay, good.
It's a great club. You're going to love it.
Nice. They have food there?
Yeah, they have like
Okay.
Korean barbecue tacos. I remember everything by what I ate. Yeah, I eat them every day.
Oh, good. So I'm looking forward to that. So, are you anywhere this weekend, Reno?
No, next week I'm at the St. Louis Funny Bone.
Okay.
The 20.
Hey, you want to wear my jersey?
Dude, I'd love to.
You can wear my jersey.
Look at this.
This weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm at the Tempe Improv in
Oh my god.
Tempe, Arizona.
Another
Tempe
place where it's
Improv.
very hot.
This weekend, yes.
Wow, John. Thank you for zooming in, dude. I didn't think he was going to make it.
I didn't think so either, but it's time. I just well, here's the deal. I'm such a has-been comedian that I need to do as much media as I possibly can.
Right.
So,
dude, I'm still trying to do the mileage around Port Charlotte to go. What's 2 hours? Have I ever done that radio show? Because you won't say the name of it.
It's
Afterwards,
Tampa.
tell me.
Tampa.
I want to know who it is.
No, I'll tell you. It's Tampa. The guys, they've always been super cool to me and super friendly. And I always thought they were like, oh, you have friends in the business. But when you record a conversation secretly and then play it on air to make me look like a dick, then I have to reevaluate.
Is there an outside chance that they thought like, well, we know him, he'll know that we're joking, and we don't mean this?
Okay, so I did get that, saying it was funner to bust your balls than to make you drive for 4 hours. Okay, so that again, I would have been okay with that as a bit. I would have been okay with John's on chocolate heroin and he couldn't make it here. I'm okay with that. Me talking to a producer of a show, not knowing you're recording the conversation, and then playing it, John. How many conversations we had off air that I just like you played or I played, right? Like I never would not trust or whatever the word is. So that was where the violation, where we just go, I forgot. Nobody's really friends. Yeah. You got to kind of always be on, or hold yourself a certain way. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, welcome back to Michigan for a couple days. When do you fly out again? I mean, you're just going to go home for like 3 days, and then you're going to turn around and go back out on the West Coast.
Just like it's 2007.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I kind of love it. I'm looking forward to getting back out there a lot. And I'm also kind of like dreading it.
Yeah, there's things. So everything that it's funny. You'll get happy for all the things that made you happy, and all the things that piss you off. All those come back too. And I figure you have about like 4 months before all that grateful, blessed crap goes away, and you're just back to being pissed off all the time. Right?
How long was your flight from Florida to Detroit? That's like a 3 hour at least, right? 3 hour?
Yeah, left. Yeah, but it was like 6 hour delay or something. There was a huge storm, and then.
But like I'm saying, physically on the plane, having to wear the mask the whole time.
Yeah, and
that's the part that's bugging me the most. Is like physically having to have it on the whole time you're on the plane. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I get it obviously, but I hate that. That's the part that once it gets back to what it was, and that's what I'm dealing with all the time, it's gonna drive me nuts.
Well, what I do now, instead of taking sleeping pills, I just I soak this in chloroform, and I just go like that, and then I just pass out. So it's my new thing. I'm gonna try to work on the patent of it. You know what I mean? But anyway. All right, Trey, can we plug the new T-shirts again? We have light blue.
We have brand new T-shirts.
Yeah,
and I'm just as like pop. I mean, today's the first time I brought it up to the Alan Jackson, but the Alan Jackson. At some point, I'd like to put these, maybe a link on the Heffron Reep website to this website, which is called oldschoolshirts.com. oldschoolshirts.com. Type in Heffron Reep. It'll pop up. It's the only one that's Heffron Reep. And it's $25. Do we have a promo code going right now?
Oh, we did, but I didn't get a hold of Josh Sneed. I have
yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the website, oldschoolshirts.com. Type in Heffron Reep, hit search, boom, there. Look at that bad boy. See, look at that, Reno.
Those
It
are
makes it
great,
look like
man.
you've already ran a 5K back in 1984.
You were something back then.
Yeah, and by the way,
Yeah.
the younger you are with this shirt, the cooler it looks.
Yeah.
So it's like they
Yeah.
weren't even alive in 1984.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm excited. There you go.
Those are
So anyway.
sweet.
Yeah.
bud.
All right, guys. Well, you want me to sign it off?
Yeah, you guys can just play all the voicemail messages I've ever left for you guys. Just play them privately.
Yeah, oh,
And,
yeah. Man, the things that I can air. And when you said, by the way, when you said Tempe, I got excited because that's a fun room. There's fun things that happen in Tempe, Arizona.
The greatest story I can ever tell. Anyway.
One of the greatest stories that John Heffron can never tell happened. Well, let's do that game real quick. Reno, what's the greatest story you could never tell? Where did it happen? What city and state?
Yeah, just see.
Oh, Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's
since
it.
I'm going,
Mm.
wow, probably gonna have to say. I mean, there's so many.
But you know what's weird is that with
What
all
made me
these
think of it,
stories-
John, was when you said Port Charlotte, because something I can't tell happened at the club you were just at a long time ago. In case my girlfriend's watching, honey, I love you. There's no one else. But this is way before you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's funny you bring that up. Secrets don't stay secrets. I'm never mind. It's weird. It's funny you bring that up because I blew something off and then I was like, it's funny when you ask that, people automatically think it's whatever debauchery story. And by the way, we could be talking about stealing candy. We could be talking about bumping into somebody's bumper and leaving.
Sure.
Right. So who knows?
Stealing a
When we
van.
ask you, we can when we say what city do you mind, that's what these are. But it's always weird that people are probably thinking, oh, it's probably in Vegas or something. And here's the one thing I know from traveling. It's the smallest cities that that the most shenanigans have. Like all these people go to Vegas and New York. You're like, what happened? You're like, okay, you've never been to Boise. Because
They have to get creative. Like Vegas, it's all right there. They got to make their own stuff out there, and it's
So I made it a rule probably about 10 years ago. Maybe a little longer than that. I'm 49 now. But probably right within the first couple of years of headlining, I made it a rule after one event. I will never get into another person's car and go somewhere with them. I will never do that again. Before Uber and you're stuck there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I will never, ever, ever do that again.
Dude,
and they always lived 3 or 4 minutes away. But it was 40.
Yeah. It's just down the road.
Yeah.
Again,
hours later.
And here's what happened to. Again, this is back in my late teens, early 20s, right? So let's go all the way back there to make sure everything's signed off on. You'd meet a group of people when we were young lads that enjoyed your show, right? They're like, hey, we're all going to a house party. And you're like, cool. And you see maybe a girl or two you kind of think is attractive. And you're like, yeah, I'll hang out with this group. Maybe I can kind of chat up them. But what always happens is the group of guys that are friends, then once they sense that you are trying to talk to one of their girls that are in their bubble, if you're in the middle of a dirt road in the middle of a city, there might be a time where you have to open up a sliding window and crawl out of it and just start walking back to where you think your hotel is, or you're gonna have 5 guys beat the shit out of you in the backyard of some place, and you just thought they wanted to do shots with you. Yeah,
hey, let's do it. Let's do a teaser for the next episode. Okay, next episode. Let's talk about, the time has passed. We're different now. We could talk about our past. Let's talk about any time we've ever had to flee or sneak out of a house.
Okay.
Were you running for your life, or you had to sneak out of there? Maybe you did an Irish goodbye before it was that because of salty situations. Think of those stories.
Okay. I have one, and it involves it involves a boa constrictor tightening around my leg where I thought my leg was gonna burst. Then I took off. So anyway, that's where I leave the tease.
All right, that's his tease. My tease is I was in an attic of a house and had to sneak out from an attic. Okay. Reno, you want to tease anything?
I'm afraid to. I was in Alabama, and
tease it. Super tease it.
I was really young. I first went on the road, and there was a girl who had been drinking with me early on in the week, and then, well.
That's the tease.
That's the tease.
Perfect.
All right, look, I'll end it.
You guys say goodbye. I'll talk to you guys later.
I'll just end it. For Jon Heffron, for Reno Collier Poop Sheet Ski, for the Alan Jackson. Don't forget to hit, rate, review, subscribe, and share all that stuff. Check our tour dates out, heffronreep.com. I appreciate you doing this, Reno. I'll talk to you later, okay,
loved
buddy?
it, buddy. You guys are great.
Take us out, Rick Sanford III.
You've been listening to the smooth sounds of Heffron and Reep. The show is over, but come back next week, same Reep time, same Heffron channel, for more comedy conversations, music, 80s church, and the life and times of a quarantine comedian. Always expect the unexpected, and who knows where the conversations will go. And as always, remember to rate, review, subscribe, and share. Peace.